The word Cimarron was used to describe runaway African slaves. They integrated into Native American indigenous cultures in Latin America during the Spanish colonial period. In the Caribbean and in surrounding coastal areas, there are various names for these instances in which Africans have ran away and integrated into native cultures. Along with Cimarron in Spanish, we also had maroon in English, mawon in French, and all three of these consisted of the same exact type of deal, same exact type of event in which African runaway slaves would integrate and move into native indigenous communities, usually in hard to reach areas, especially in the mountains. These communities developed a unique identity and culture distinct from their colonial surroundings. Now, the reason why I wanted to focus on the word Cimarron is because typically people don't associate African people with Latin America or the Caribbean, sadly. But the fact of the matter is that there are many people of African descent in Latin America, including the people that descend from these Cimarron communities that escaped into the mountains of the island and retained some semblance of the indigenous identity through the cultural mixing of the Africans and the indigenous people, creating this Cimarron, maroon, mawon culture. Cimarrones were involved in a spy and trade system with the Kingdom and Republics of Haiti after the Haitian Revolution. And as a matter of fact, the Haitian armies sent out spies into these communities to help plan slave revolts and try to free the remainder of these enslaved Africans on the plantations of the Caribbean islands. And these Cimarron communities that were constantly fighting under colonial rule would often associate and align themselves with pirate groups of various other countries that would come in and trade with them and so on and so forth. So it is likely that there were some Cimarron pirates that came out of these Afro-Indigenous communities. The resilience of people called Cimarrones in Latin America is still seen today in the existence and the continuation of the music and food developments and contributions that many African and indigenous people contributed to the modern cultures of a lot of areas in the Caribbean and Latin America. And to this day, there are still Cimarron communities that still retain this Afro-Indigenous culture, such as the people of Palenque, Colombia, and also the Garifuna people of Honduras and Belize. So now you know that while the Maroons were fighting the British in Jamaica, and while the Mawon were fighting the French in Haiti, the Cimarrones were fighting for freedom in what we know today as Puerto Rico and all other regions of Latin-speaking countries in the Caribbean and Latin America. Hope you learned something. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Stay connected to your roots. Ashe.